Hello and welcome to the 55th episode of Out of State DMing. Because I never really thought I would actually make it to 55th episode. I'm not even going to lie about that. Uh, I'm your host, lluksblackheart, and joining me today is your co-host, LadyCelt. And today we are going to make an attempt as suddenly something doesn't want to move for me. Now it is. Hey. To finish the ranger spells. Because last we left off was neutralize poison, which is a very useful spell. Because just no matter how you spell it, neutralize poison's always good. This is also can be used prematurely if you know something's poisonous. But now
yeah, that would be useful.
Yeah, because it's a duration of like 10 minutes a caster level. So if you know you're going to fight something toxic, like a giant poisonous snake or a vicious monstrous centipede, you're like, poison. Neutralize poison. That's going to help us with all future die rolls when it comes to that encounter, as long as we don't exceed the duration of the spell. And it's a third level ranger spell, so it's going to last a good while by that point. Excuse me. Oh, hey, our other co-host, the Bacon, has just joined us. I take it you're still not feeling 100%?
No, I feel like dog shit.
Yeah, I
Oh, damn.
figured you wouldn't make an appearance. I'd rather you get better than attempt to suffer through my shenanigal bullshit. But it's much appreciated you here.
I mean,
So thank you for joining us. Yay! It's a full party. Um, the next spell we're going into doesn't have very many good combat rolls because it's not generally used for combat, and it's plant growth. The particular area vegetation just grows a lot, and it's very good for crops. It could be used to somewhat make terrain somewhat more hindering because all the plants, it's like super fertilizer. So grass will grow a little bit taller, a little bit thicker, a little bit stronger because it's literally like, here's magical fertilizer. Trees will get healthier and grow a bit. Bushes will grow thicker and stuff like that. So you could use it to make an area a little bit more problematic to go through based on what's there, but it's primarily used on crops. Does looking at a farmer who's having a hard time and just going, hey, look, plant growth on your wheat, they're going to get a super yield at that point because it's going to produce maximum quality of quantity of whatever that plant is, making harvesting better, and it even makes the soil better, so that therefore on future crops we'll have a little bit better time because it's just making everything better. It's it's also a good way to, if you're adventuring and you're going through an area that has farmers, it's a good way to make farmers a little bit more likable towards you because they're going to be obliged to help you because you're saving their lives.
We're going to look forward to your presence.
Yeah, especially if you do it like every single time you go through the area. You're like, plant growth. The farmers are going to go, those guys are awesome. It's a great way to also it's greatly endear yourself to a region. The only problem I have with the spell is the players that have decided to do that in as both a DM and as a player don't just willy-nilly do it. They look at the farmers and go, unless you're paying us obscene amounts of money, we're not doing it. But yet, they also want to sleep the night instead of out in tents inside the house of the farmer. They want the farmer to give them access to their well water. They want the farmer to give them food, but they're like, nope, you're gonna do that for free, but we're gonna overcharge you for this. It's like, no. No, at minimum, do a trade-off. We'll do this if we get this, which is like proper shelter, food, fresh water. It's a trade-off.
Right.
So, I think at this point in the podcast, I can say a lot of my problems don't come from the spells. It's the people.
It's the way they use the spells.
Yeah, I can see trying to gain stuff using spells, getting benefits to use spells, but the way people decide to go about it makes me just...
I'm pretty good at utilizing spells to great effect. Like in my 5e game, I used my telepathy to get the guys that were looking for us to kill each other.
Oh yeah, you using your magical effects to make the benefit the party. Yeah, it's great. That's a pretty useful way to get yourself out of trouble. And I encourage players and DMs out there that see this. Think outside the box, but at the same time, be prepared for any and all consequences of thinking outside the box. And if you decide to pretty much be the bad guy, expect bad things to happen. Like demanding free stuff from the farmers while then also stating you're not going to provide any services unless they pay way too much for a third level spell. There is a chart. Go ahead.
No, my question would be, can you use plant growth on, say, like a woodland creature, say like a tree ant? Can I use plant growth on a tree ant?
Technically, yes, because it is a plant, so therefore it gets all the benefits of plant growth. So if it's let's say it's a malnourished treant or a young treant, plant growth could be used to accelerate its growth, while also making it extremely healthy, because it's, like I said, plant growth it's super fertilizer. So plant creatures will look at you like you're the bomb diggity yo, because you pretty much just fed them, watered them to an extreme, and and they're also going to be happy because it's not I target that creature spell. It's an AoE effect that affects all plants within inside that area. So they're going to look around and feel that you're actually trying to do stuff for nature. So they're going to love it. And be more inclined to, not pick you up and throw you out of the forest. Because a lot of treants have the capability to, I'm just going to chuck you very far away because I'm like a 30 plus height tree that can, punt you like you're a football. So it is a great way to make a lot of woodland, plant creatures like you. But it also has the side effect on if an area is malnourished or is having plant-related problems that you're fixing with plant growth, any of the carnivorous plants that are there that are having problems getting the food, you're helping them too. So, for instance, one of my favorite mobile carnivorous plants are blood petals. They're like 6 foot tall roses. So it looks like a single giant rose, and they come in all sorts of colors of red and reds and purples, in a lot of those shades, but they're highly carnivorous. So if there's like one or more of those in a particular area, why did my camera just go off? I have no idea why my camera turned off. I didn't want to turn off. Those creatures, even though they're not stupid, silly little plants, they're not technically sentient creatures, so they're not going to look at what you did as, oh, you're helping me, so I'm going to leave you alone. They're going to go, I may not necessarily be hungry, but I'm going to be hungry later, so you come here. I'm going to eat you now. Or at least put you in a position to where when I do get hungry, I don't have to worry about it because I have food right there. So there's a lot of plants like that that benefit from the spell, but because of their lack of intelligence, won't see it as a buy-off. Because they're still going to do what they naturally do, which is predicate on things. And it won't save you from like assassin vines or angry shambling mounds, because you may have helped it, but it's an angry shambling mound. It's gonna pummel you into oblivion.
It is what it is. It's not gonna. Its nature's not gonna change at all just because of that.
It has to be like the intelligent ones, like willow tree warriors, which are you can call them pygmy treants because they only get about as high as like 15 feet, and they look like willow trees. They're super sentient. If there's one present and you do that, it's gonna at minimum it might just leave the entire party alone because you may not even realize it's a sentient plant creature. At maximum, you notice it has a face, it smiles at you, and you're pretty sure it gives you a thumbs up because it's like, you're cool. Because like they'll understand that you just benefited the area, and you're not one of those anti-nature hooligans that rather burn down the forest to defeat a couple of skeletons. You're not one of those hooligans. You're the nature's good. Bam. You broke up there, Bacon?
I said it was one time, Jacob. You don't have to keep bringing it up.
Listen, you weren't the one that started a massive forest fire. The individual responsible, in one instance, started a forest fire in 3 separate areas because of the... So the skeletons were defeated.
I did start a forest fire to kill a bunch of things, though.
Yeah, but you actually learned from that mistake and went... I mean, it worked, but... And there was other party members that helped counteract all that. So
great moments and unintended consequences.
Yeah, you at least showed actual remorse and somewhat concern about.
Was it?
It worked, but maybe
was it real, or was it rehearsed?
Yeah. Well, you at least showed it. While it was fake or not, you at least showed it. You also had party members that helped counteract stuff, and you actually did help them counteract it. So it was an oopsie, but you at least went, this could be a problem if we don't get it maintained. The other person went, and I defeated the skeletons. Like, you started a forest fire and almost killed a party member, but I defeated the skeletons. It's like,
everything is fine.
It's like, but moving on, because we went from plant growth to burning down a forest relatively quick. I take partial blame.
That was your fault. You better take all the blame.
I take none of the blame. The next spell,
Bastard.
that third level spell for rangers is reduce animal. This shrinks an animal, so you can make an elephant from a huge sized creature to a large sized creature, a horse into a pygmy horse. I can't remember the duration of it, but for a brief time it does get smaller, which helps you get certain animals into certain areas for the duration of the spell because it shrinks them. The only real caveat is one willing animal. If the animal doesn't want to do it without going and looking up the spell itself. Right there, just on that one willing animal, we would have to ixnay the willing animal. Well, not ixnay it, but ooh, getting burpy now. We would have to.
You mean to tell me we got to kill the animal because it didn't want to do it?
Or at least leave it where it's at.
I heard dinner is served.
Sometimes that's all you can really do with animals. No, I'm not encouraging eating your horses when it becomes too inconvenient because horses are expensive. Like the cheapest horse you can buy would be like 75 gold pieces, and that is a expensive meat right there. Especially because you have to go spend another at minimum 75 just to get a new horse next time you get the chance to get a horse. So unless you have countless thousands of gold pieces, I don't recommend it. But the next spell is remove disease. This spell has an endless amount of uses because the ability to go, oh, you have a disease? No, you don't. And it's a cure-all diseases. So if someone gets like mummy rot, filth fever, brain's not working on the other ones, but it's like let's just say they got like 10 different diseases. You don't need to cast 10 remove diseases on them. You just need to cast one because it cures all diseases affecting the subject. The thing that I have problems with this spell, which again is the people, is until you start suffering noticeable ill effects, you don't know you have a disease. There's filth fever, it takes a few days to incubate. So once you fail the initial check, you don't know why you did that fortitude check. It's just somewhere between like 1 to 4 days later, you start feeling bloated because you're getting bloated. You start getting like a redness of your skin. It's like, okay, something's wrong. You don't automatically know it's a disease because you don't know what's wrong. So what you have to do is have someone with a significant heal skill, do their heal check, and they can go, oh, you have a disease. Or if it's happened more than once, you can go, I'm pretty sure I have something because, well, again, you're bloating, you're getting redness, you're getting tenderness. Like, there's something wrong. Just in case, remove disease. The amount of times out of nowhere where, as both a DM as a player, it's like, okay, this person made a random fortitude saving throw. No one knows why, they just did it. And then almost immediately, the cleric or someone who has removed disease is being yelled at to cast remove disease. It's like, 1, who has the disease, 2, who figured out they had a disease, and 3, did the cleric or whoever it is, like rangers get it, prepare it? No, they're just a random fortitude save was asked for. It's like, well, there's nothing wrong with the person. Then there's multiple cases, as I've witnessed as a player, and had to just look at the person like they were not so intelligent when they're like, okay, this person must have more than one disease, and they pop like 3 to 4 removed diseases on one person. It's like, that's all your removed diseases. There's 3 more people you want to cast the spell on. Why are you overcasting? Because I need to get rid of all diseases on them. It's like the spell take 1 casting removes all. It's like Control-Alt-Delete on a file. You don't need to Control-Delete the file 15 times to get rid of the file. Unless there's something wrong with the system and it just automatically comes back.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like weirdness. But when used correctly, it's even if you never end up actually using it, it's always good because you never know when you're going to need it. And it's one of those spells that you always need it when no one has it prepared. Because throughout my 20 plus years of playing, the amount of times where that spell would have been useful, no one had it at all. And then they would also forget to prepare it on the next day. It's like you're this. You can prepare it the next day. Okay, I'll do that. Did you prepare it? No. And there's like multiple diseases that if you don't get rid of soon enough, they just cause massive problems. The next spell, it's a spell I've rarely see used, and it's Repel Vermin. It's a nifty spell, but the only times I've seen people prepare it and cast it has when they've been in like marshes or swamps and they don't want to be bugged by mosquitoes or bot flies or even leeches. Despite the fact that it works against spiders, beetles, centipedes, like the monstrous kind. Like if you run across the what?
So do it down at Bath.
Do it down at Bath. So if you run across like a 15-foot centipede, Repel Vermin can keep it away from you because it has to beat a will saving throw to get within 10 feet of you. So you're like, Repel Vermin, the centipede's not going to attack me now. Someone casts Centipede Plague, or a Locust Blade, or a swarm of centipedes. You Repel Vermin. Well, that swarm is not going to be near you because they're going to be pushed back. But no one thinks about using it to save you in combat. They only think about, I don't want mosquitoes biting me. Repel Vermin. It's like, I mean, I get it, but you could have used it when the party was attacked by giant spiders 2 sessions ago. It's like, the next spell is Summon Nature's Ally 3. They do get that. And that's an overcovered spell because it's the same as all the other Summon Natures. It's just better, more powerful animals can be summoned with it. The next is Tree Shape. It lasts an hour per caster level, and you look exactly like a tree. Keyword look. You are not actually a tree. So no one can scale up on you to go higher cover because he's a tree. No, you look like a tree. Which means it looks like someone's trying to crawl in and out of a tree, but not going full up because they're on your shoulders. If you're moving while the spell is active, people could mistake you for a weird treant, or if you're being looked for by certain entities like a orc war party and they see trees conveniently moving, they're probably going to go, I think we found them. So you do have to stand still but it does let you easily hide from visual sight because, again, if you look like a tree, as long as it's like a tree that belongs there, like if you're actually in a forest or an area that actually has a bundle of trees. So if you're in the middle of a desert and like pine tree, not gonna, not really gonna like blend in. You're gonna stick out a little bit, especially if there's a random collection of pine trees that's randomly in a location where there shouldn't be pine trees.
You mean to tell me I can't turn into a willow tree in the middle of a desert?
I mean, you can, but you're going to get more attention than you are avoiding. Because, again, it's like, is that a willow tree?
I
Why
don't.
is there a random willow tree here? If you're alone, it's more of those, what's up with that single willow tree? But if it's entire party trying to hide, you're going to have to either A, help the god they're really good at being flat as possible, or B, also hit them with tree shape so they don't stick out as much. But a random collection of trees, where there's not supposed to be a random collection of trees, regardless of the typing of tree, it sticks out. So environment does come into play on usefulness of that spell. And then there's also the number of trees. But it can be used to briefly have things lose track of you in a proper environment. That and the big thing is, if you choose the wrong type of tree, like a willow tree in a desert, yeah. See, if it was like a dragon blood tree, it's in the area is known for having some of those there. Not necessarily collections of them, but like, occasionally, like you'll see one. Okay, yay. But a random willow tree, it's like wrong type of tree. So either there's something special about that tree we need to investigate, that's some sort of tree monster we need to now kill, or that's some sort of illusion possibly hiding something we need to go investigate. I say those things because the number of times players have literally looked at something like that and gone, that doesn't belong, we need to investigate. It's like, well, that was too easy. Like, even when you repeat, like, okay, if you guys are gonna keep doing that, because like you know there's these occasionally a random tree of this type is there, but you're gonna keep going forward, that tree doesn't belong. Well, the monsters are going to go, well, adventures are stupid because of this, so now they're going to be using such things as that as like traps. So sometimes players don't learn, and from players, certain things like if something sticks out, if players will go 2 + 2 = goldfish and go investigate, why wouldn't monsters do the same thing? Why wouldn't monsters be interested in it? So yes, multiple arguments about they wouldn't do what we do. But slightly moving on to the last 3rd level spell for rangers, Water Walk, which is you tread water, or the subject treads water. The subject treads on water as if it was solid. That spell is really useful for getting across rivers, lakes, ponds, getting to and off of a ship at sea. Because again, you're walking on water as if it was solid. Now, the only memorable things I can say about Water Walk that's happened in my 20-some-odd years is players casting it on other people, waiting till those individuals are at a deep part of the water, and then dispelling it. Yes, that's a proper
That's
Oh,
definitely a
that's
me thing.
evil. That's evil.
That's
Oh,
definitely something I
oh,
would do.
no, it gets worse because it's never the party members that actually have the ability to swim because, like, no, they're going to swim and yell at me. Is that the person there wearing heavy armor?
Sink like a stone.
So it's like, okay, because this person, he's wearing this armor, which swim check is a times 2 for that penalty there. He has this shield, so its armor check penalty is also times 2. He's also wearing all this other heavy crap that's actually impeding his swim thing. Just one of the rules about swimming is for like every 10 pounds you carry is a penalty to your swim checks. So you don't want to carry a lot.
Okay.
He's literally carrying the party's burdens. This
He
lake,
is the beast of burden.
we have to get across this lake. The spell will last just long enough to get to the other side. We get about halfway through. We're at the deepest part. Dismisses it. Boop.
Who does that? Who does that?
Me.
I would say a
That's a me
singular
thing.
person, but that's in my 20 years that's happened about 7 times, and only 2 of them was the same person. And I've witnessed it as a DM and as a player. We got to get across this body of water. There's pretty deep points, and we can't waste time swimming because swimming takes a lot of time to swim across. So we got to run across it. That one party member going, we need a distraction to stop the monsters from chasing us. Okay, what's your idea? Well, since we're halfway across and that person's going to have problems swimming, dispel it on him. On the person who has like a -16 to their swim check roll. So they're going to immediately sink. Yeah, distraction. No, they're sinking while we're running. The monsters aren't going to dive in the water after them. They're going to keep coming after us. Thank you for drowning a party member and still getting us chased by the monster. Worth it. No. No.
What is it? What is it? As I would say, what is this? The gospel according to Saint Bastard?
No. The only thing I can say is funny is it was done to me. The party was like just trying to get away from things. We're going through pretty deep water. The sorcerer, just like this is a spell that they get, went, okay, we're going to have the party's ranger fight them by itself. It's like, wait, what? Dispel, flop. Completely totally forgetting that getting that not all party members were standard races, and I was a lizard folk. Guess what has outstanding aquatic abilities? Lizard folk. So I had a racial bonus to swimming, a racial hold breath ability, and it was one of my main stats. But I was a bad guy because I grabbed his feet and wouldn't let him move. It's like, no. I also have this item that gives me a good swim speed, so you can't run from me. So I'm just going to hang onto your foot and stare at you. Well, then I'm going to stab you. It's like, go ahead. I don't care. The flying monster, it's going to target you, not me. I dive underwater when it shows up. The monster's not going after me. It's going after the sorcerer, but I'm the bad guy. It's like, no. You don't screw me over and then pretend I'm the villain when the real villain was the person who, before he died, dispelled it on everyone else, causing everyone else to now have to swim. So multiple people drowned because he decided to try to be petty at the end. It's like, you're gonna kill me, boo. It's like, no, you killed yourself, and now everyone's suffering. So if you're going to be cheeky with Water Walk, make sure the person you use it on can't somehow get you back. Like being able to swim up to you and grab your feet so you can't run away from them. Make sure they don't have any abilities to immediately get you back. Make sure they actually boom. And also, all's fair in random shenanigans if you start literally trying to murder party members. Because attempt of drowning, that's messed up. Don't do it. Unless you're 100% sure you're getting away with it. And by getting away with it, I mean not getting smited by the paladin because he actually had stuff in swim, got to the other side, decided to smite you because you're obviously evil because you tried to kill the paladin of Palor through drowning. Because yes, that happened.
Yeah.
You do attempt of murder on an obvious good guy. Yeah, you're a bad guy. I have no remorse for the fact you get smited. And no, Bacon, that does not mean you need to start doing it to people. Even though I know that a few people
Why?
you do it too.
I listen. I'm not saying I would do it to anybody, but it definitely sounds like I'm gonna have some fun in our next campaign.
Yeah. Who wants to walk on water? It's going to be short-lived. But now we can get into the 4th level spells. Spells which are the final spells for the ranger, because as like a paladin, ranger only goes up to 4th level spells. And we start off with animal growth, where 1 animal per 2 levels doubles in size. So you can turn a riding dog, which is normally a medium-sized dog, into now a horse-sized dog. A dog. So instead of the halfling being able to be riding it, pretty much anyone in the party can ride it. Or you can look at an elephant and go, you're not big enough. And make it even bigger. Because nothing says shenanigans like, that counts as an animal. Now it's an even bigger animal. Is that a tower we're supposed to level? But it also works on multiple animals per casting. So the higher level you are, the more animals you can make really big. It also helps if you're with your own personal ranger's animal companion when you're like, you're big, you're strong, I trust you. But now you're even bigger, even stronger. Fetch me their souls.
Could you imagine like chihuahuas, like giant chihuahuas?
Yes,
It would be
yes.
like, what a wave of just hate feels like.
Yeah, they vibrate because it's anger. I mean, and like multiple other issues, but all we gotta do is give Chihuahua a pack of Chihuahuas a size increase, and they go from that's going to hospitalize people to that's mortifying people. Because believe it or not, Chihuahuas can quite effectively take down full-grown men. Because there's a legit story about a cop over 6 foot, over 200 pounds, got out of his car to deal with a pack of dogs, thinking they're chihuahuas, they're not going to do anything. Before his car door shut, he was on the ground with chihuahuas literally trying to kill him. An old lady with a broom saved him. He had to have surgery on his Achilles heels because they tore that open, and facial reconstruction because they fucked up his face.
Yeah, anyone who's ever groomed dogs knows that, you know, you basically kind of need some holy water when you're doing chihuahuas and Pomeranians.
Toy poodles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just a lot of dogs that people think are not threatening because of their size. But then they just, and you see their teeth. They're like, why are their teeth so big? Oh, it's because they're originally bred to actually harm stuff. Like, Chihuahuas were originally bred as alarm systems and as pest control. Because nothing says, screw you, rat, like a pissed off Chihuahua going, come here, pretty boy. So, yeah, what's...
Dachshund.
A dachshund. Let's slap animal
Oh
growth
yeah, they
on
were made to
that.
get badgers.
We do not need to cast it on any
What'd
sort
you
of
say?
monsters.
There's a great worm that went down the hole. Enlarge animal on the dachshund.
No, there's a D&D animal that the name makes you think of something else, but what its appearance and what it does makes you go, one, why is it called that? And B, who decided to take a member of the weasel family and actually make it as big as a horse? The goblin bear.
Oh God.
Yeah. It's like the name. You think it has something to do with goblins, and it's some sort of bear. No, it's let's take a wolverine, make it as big as a horse, and give it the mentality of we're throwing hands and I'm winning. It has actually nothing to do with goblins or bears. It's just a giant, literally a giant member of the weasel family. It counts as
Oh
an
wow.
animal, so putting animal growth on that makes it even more terrifying. Let's make a horse-sized weasel bigger than a horse.
Yeah, let's not. Let's not.
Let's not say we didn't. The next spell is a useful spell, but it's a time spell. Commune with nature. It takes like an entire day to actually have the spell work properly. And the range of it is 1 mile per caster level. So the higher level you are, the more information you get. And it's kind of like getting a mental map of the area. You can learn where fresh water is, if it's a pond, a lake, mineral deposits, like dangerous plant life, dangerous animals with inside that perimeter. So you pretty much are doing a Google search on the region, and you can look up a lot of random things. So you get, as my nose is now going allergies suck. So you just get a lot of information. And also, you can tell what's natural and what's unnatural when it comes to any sort of structures, because if there's a structure, it's just this blank spot. You don't know what type of structure it is, but it's not natural because there's this blank spot. Even if it's like an ancient ruins covered by vegetation, blank spot, because that's not a natural creature. Well, not a creature, not a natural environment. It's altered environment by sentient creatures. So if you're looking for particular things that aren't being magically concealed, you can find the lost city of gold because, well, if it's natural, it will pop up. If it's unnatural, blank spot. You can also find like enemy camp spots and stuff like that for it. So it is an actually useful spell. No one ever uses it though because they think they know better. Like in the past 10 years, it was only been used once, and that was for the Friday campaign I was running. That shaman really liked that. The next spell is Cure Serious Wounds, which it's a 3rd level cleric spell, but they get it as a 4th level spell. So it's good that they get even better healing than what they previously got. So, yay, rangers can heal. The next spell is Freedom of Movement. That spell is really great because you don't care about impediments from natural terrain, and you can't be grappled. So if a big monster likes grappling things to eat them, you go, I don't care. Freedom of movement. So it's kind of like being all oiled up and going into a wrestling match. They can't get a grip on you because They can't. And my cat's being weird. It also helps you swim through water because the water doesn't actually stop you, so you can actually swim through water a bit more efficiently. The next spell is pretty good. It's non-detection. This spell hides the subject from any divination spell or scrying spell. So detect alignment doesn't work on you. You can't be scryed. Pretty much anything in the divination family just auto fails. So it's really good at hiding your location and stuff like that from anyone trying to magically locate you. So if you're trying to hide from party members or the big bad guy, non-detection is really good. And there's really no circumstance where it doesn't help you when it comes to magical shenanigans, because again, a lot of bad guys using magic to find you can't do anything against you if they literally can't find you with the magic. They have to use their own eyes and ears to do it. So it's really good. They do get Summon Nature's Ally level 4. So, yay. The very last spell they get is Tree Stride, which lets you step from one tree to another far away. So it's kind of like teleportation, limited to not just how far away you can go based on level, but tree type. So if you touch an oak, you pick a direction you pop out of another oak as close to that direction as possible. So like in the previous D&D game I was running, the shaman used it a lot to get from where the party base was to the closest city they were doing stuff with, because that spell let him do it. So it's really useful. And that is it for the ranger spells. Because the 4th level list is extremely short. Again, they're half casters, not full casters. They have to be higher level than everyone else just to be able to get access to a lot of the spells anyways. So they don't get them as early as everyone else or even at the same actual level as everyone else. But when they do get access to those spells, which is starting at level 4, they get to actually help, because there's healing spells, utility spells, combat spells. There's just a bundle of things they can do to actually start helping people with magic, if the ranger actually pays attention to it. Most of the time, in campaigns I've played in and ran, rangers either completely neglected their spell list, as in they didn't cast any spells, which is like weird because they do get some good ones, or they hyperfixated on like 1 or 2 spells, like Long Strider and Magic Fang and Pass Without Trace are the only actual spells that are cast a lot by rangers, despite the fact that they get a lot more spells than that. And those are all just the first level spells. So it's always been weird to me that it's like you're a level 16 ranger, you have access to your 4th level spells, but you never use any of them. And the go-to is either A, I don't do anything with spells because I'm not that type of ranger, when it's an all rangers do. Those spells suck, why would I use them? Or, why am I casting spells those party members there, which are like clerics, druids, wizards, sorcerers, they can cast spells. They can cast more spells and at a higher effectiveness than what I can cast them at. So why am I even trying? It's like, don't compete with other spellcasters. Don't. That's the downside if you're constantly trying to do that. But then it's still like 4th level spell, freedom of movement. Doesn't matter who cast it. It's a fantastic spell. Cure serious wounds. Any healing is good healing, regardless of the source. So it's like, it's weird because again, a lot of people just don't care about their completely don't care about it, or they just hyperfixate on a few of the spells. They feel like that's the only spells they're good at, so they only use those ones. When it's like, no.
Yeah, you should always have some way of healing yourself, be it a spell you can use on yourself or a potion or something.
Yeah, it's like, while you're relying on someone else or yourself, anyone with healing is a valued member of the party member. Because if you put that all on one person, if something happens to that person, you lose all healing. Like in the Thursday campaign I'm run, that's part of the problem. Because for the first part of the campaign, there was no one actually focusing on healing, be it the skill or thing. Then they started to hyperfixate on potions, and it wasn't until like a few party members actually ended up dying that one of them decided to be a cleric. Now, I am all for like, play what you want. If you don't want to play the cleric, you don't have to play the cleric. But also at the same time, don't complain that no one's getting healed or being kept alive when no one's doing it. And when it comes to force feeding potions down someone's throat, you have a chance of drowning them. There's the whole wrong tube thing. So it's like,
right.
If you're going to focus on potions, more than just one person needs to have the heal skill. Which is funny, the current party cleric has some stuff in it, but they're more focused on, well, I can just slap them with a healing spell. And only one other party member goes, yeah, and in case you're down, I actually have a good healing. The party rogue has a high amount of ranks in heal right now. So much so that they're better than the cleric. Simply because, like, if the cleric goes down, which has happened, or the cleric's not present when, people are dropping, which has happened, someone needs to be able to, not drown things. Like, 2 of the party NPCs were drowned while trying to get them to have potions because they horrifically failed the check and drowned them. One of the NPCs got double drowned because when you get a 4 and then a 3 on your heal check to try to shove a potion down their throat, and it's a DC 15, bad things happen.
Yeah.
So, healing is good. So, and rangers, even though they don't really get it till the second level spells, they get it. They get utility and some other useful buff spells like Endure Elements. They get Entangle, Hide from Animals, Resist Energy, Speak with Animals, which is always good. So they start to get some really good spells. Yeah, you have to wait longer to actually get them and be able to cast more of them, but they're still really great. So if you're watching this and you do play 3-5 and you go ranger, just look at your ranger spells. Do some tiny research on them and you'll learn that you can be a very useful spellcaster. But since we're around that time, but to end this episode on a high note, Next week, we will be starting on the sorcerer/wizard spells. Because, yes, viewers, wizards and sorcerers cast the same spells at the same levels. Unless the DM pulls from a source that specifically says, this is a sorcerer-only spell, and this is a wizards-only spell, which is highly unlikely. But we will be starting with 0-level arcane spells.
And yes, viewers, this is where I get to be a menace.
Yes. So thank you for watching. Remember to like and
I get to still be a
subscribe.
menace.
And we will see you next week for more spells.